Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. Get Smart. The spy comedy from the minds of Mel Brooks and Buck Henry ran from 1965 to 70 with 138 total episodes. Besides everything, one of the great aspects of the show is its vast array of guest stars. Here's my top 5 best cameos. At number 5, it was an uncredited role for James Caan as the swashbuckling Rupert of Rathskeller in episode 107, To Sire with Love. During the 3rd season, they actually had consecutive episodes containing some of my favorites. My number 4 was Ernest Borgnine, who had a quick one-liner in episode 77, The Little Black Book. Number 3 was Milton Berle. Uncle Milty played a hotel clerk in episode 78, titled Don't Look Back. And speaking of hotels, at number 2 on my list, it was Bob Hope popping in as a bellboy in episode 79, which was called 99 Loses Control. But my number 1 had to be the Tonight Show legend, Johnny Carson. He didn't appear in just 1, but 2 episodes. Number 13, titled Aboard the Orient Express, and number 74, The King Lives? Honestly, I had no particular reason for the order in which these go, as I loved them all. But to me, these were the top 5 best cameos. Do you agree or disagree? Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. You know, one of the things that I loved the most about Get Smart was that it was a veritable smorgasbord of spoofs. These guys could parody just about anything they got their hands on. This Mel Brooks Buck Henry creation borrowed from classic novels as well as rival TV shows. They also touched on the classic films of Hitchcock as well as major franchises like James Bond. With episodes like Dr. Yes, Bronze Finger, The Not So Great Escape, you can see they like to spoof the titles too. And one of my favorite examples of this is episode number 103, Tequila Mockingbird. Written by Chris Hayward and Arnie Sultan, this episode mashes up the Maltese Falcon with the good, the bad, and the ugly. So clearly these writers had an endless amount of material to draw from. And even better, an incredible acting cast to back it all up. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. Get Smart ran from 1965 to 70 for a total of 138 episodes. Just one of the many comedic aspects of the show involved the secret agent communication devices. They had gadgets like a coffee and donut radio, a castanet telegraph, and the infamous, fully functional cone of silence. If you recall the intro sequence, Max enters control headquarters through a floor in a phone booth. Perhaps this was a subtle hint that we should be prepared for a lot of phones. From the very first episode came Max's iconic shoe phone. Reportedly, this prop served as one of the first concepts of a cell phone, or you may wish to call it the first smartphone. Both Chaos and Control had phones of every shape and size stashed everywhere. 99 actually had one in her fingernail, as seen in episode 133 called And Only $2.99. In episode 96, The Laser Blazer, while posing as a maid, the Chaos agent Nina, played by the lovely Julie Newmar, had one hidden in her feather duster. Then there was Max's canteen phone in episode 117 with the title spoof of The Treasure of Sierra Madre. Of course, the Chief had his fair share of hidden phones too. I especially liked one in episode 108 titled Shock It To Me. It was located in his overheated car radiator. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans, and welcome to part 2 of the fantastic phones of Get Smart. Seemingly, everyone on Earth owns a mobile phone these days, but on Get Smart, they were hidden in the funniest places as part of a recurring comedic theme. Last time, we ran through just a few of my favorites, so here's a few more. The Bunsen burner phone was used in episode 60 as part of a 3-part series entitled A Man Called Smart. While inside a control lab, Max uses this one with great care, as the flame is actually the voice transmitter. And episode 184 was actually titled The Hotline. This one features, what else? An ice cream phone. It was the pre-push button era, so most of these phones had to be dialed, and in this case, the cone served as the dialer and the voice transmitter, and the ice cream as the earpiece. Max's car cigarette lighter actually had a bit more healthier use, as a phone, of course. Seen in episode 4, titled Our Man in Toyland, instead of a cigarette, this one also lights up the switchboards. It makes another appearance in episode 35, but this time with an attachable earpiece. Lastly, is it a regular garden hose? Well, not on Get Smart. This irrigation communication device was seen in episode 135 with a title spoofing one of my favorite Burt Bacharach tunes, What's It All About? Algae? Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. We all know and love the gorgeous Barbara Feldon from the Mel Brooks and Buck Henry classic comedy, Get Smart. But did you know that prior to that, she won the jackpot on the popular TV game show, The $64,000 Question? While performing in a Broadway review of the Ziegfeld Follies, Barbara and all the other showgirls were given a written basic knowledge test as potential contestants. When the results came back, she was the only one who scored 100%. Even though Felden called it a fluke, it resulted in the opportunity for her to be on the game show. Reluctantly, she decided to do it, and with 3 months to prepare, she began a self-induced intensive study on the subject of Shakespeare. Overly prepared, she came on the show to find out that the questions were easy. The $64,000 question became the subject of some controversy a year or so after her appearance, and although Barbara was given the category of the questioning ahead of time, she is adamant that she was never given any answers. Each week, she worked her way up the dollar level, eventually making it to the $64,000 question. Barbara then won the jackpot and continued on to ultimately earn $96,000 in winnings, which equates to over $890,000 in today's money. Many of the winners on this show became instantly famous, and no doubt it gave Barbara a good taste of what was to come, acting alongside Don Adams in her iconic portrayal of Agent 99 on Get Smart.